So hey there guys, so today's video is going to be my best in beauty favorite makeup products of 2023. We're going to talk about foundations, tinted moisturizers, concealers, eyeliners, mascara, blush, bronzer, highlight, and lipsticks. I think I said concealers already. I decided to put it all in one video this time because I don't have too many products that were I'm just gonna talk about my standout products this year. Pretty much every complexion product I tried this year was a big hit for me, so I'd really like to talk about those obviously first. So we're gonna start off with primers really quick, and I only have two to talk about because honestly I didn't really try too many primers in 2023 since my skin got a lot more sensitive this year and I had a lot of allergic reactions to things. I was trying not to try too many like primers, but out of the primers that I did try, I mostly just tried like very light liquid primers. So the first one is the Say Star Glow Super Gel Primer. Oh my god, this was like my holy grail favorite primer this year. I just use this all the time, you guys. Like when my face was recovering from the allergic reactions, this was the only primer I was using. I even used this for, I believe, my sister's wedding as just like a base, because I brought this with me traveling because it's so easy to travel with because it's obviously a travel size, but it just gives your face this most beautiful, moisturized, glowy look, but it's not too glowy. It moisturizes into the skin like right away, and it just gives you a beautiful, like more dewy base, but not even like too dewy for someone that like wants to maybe experiment with something a little bit more glowy. This is a beautiful product. You can also mix it in with your foundation, with your tinted moisturizer, with like a really light tinted product, and it just goes beautifully. I think I like this type of like liquid kind of illuminating product more so than like a liquid highlighter or like a liquid illuminator. It has like this gel-like consistency and it just melts into the skin like so easily, and you need like the tiniest amount, but I'm telling you, it's so moisturizing. And do you see like the glow that it leaves on my hand? It's just such a good product, and I use it basically on a daily basis. It just was my favorite primer this year, so I absolutely love it. And then the only other primer that I have is the Rare Beauty Illuminating Primer. This is a very similar product to the Say primer, but this one is even more glowy than the Say one, but they are very similar products. So honestly, like, I would recommend either one, but this one is a little bit more pigmented. I already put too much on my hand, but basically that's what the Rare Beauty one looks like. Do you see that it's like a lot more shiny and kind of more pigmented than the Say primer? This even would work beautifully as like a really natural highlighter on the skin, because again, it is an illuminating primer, but I'm telling you, they're almost identical. I'm just saying that the Rare Beauty one is a little bit more glowy, and honestly, it depends on what mood I'm in to either use this one or the Say one, but honestly, they're so interchangeable for me that I don't really notice too much of a difference. It's just whether or not I want to be more glowy on a certain day. And I probably could get the same effect from the Say one if I just use a little bit more. But this is an amazing product as well. So I fell in love with both of those primers this year. And those are the only two I have to talk about. So let's jump right into, I guess we'll talk about tinted moisturizers first, because I have two foundations and two tinted moisturizers. So I believe this was the first like tinted product that I tried last year, like the first complexion product that I tried last year, because I was trying to kind of be on a low buy for foundations and tinted moisturizers this past year. I tried more concealers than foundations and tinted moisturizers just because I'm trying to use up the ones that I have rather than buying new ones. I did repurchase a ColourPop tinted moisturizer because I love that one. So that was the only other tinted moisturizer that I purchased besides the two that I'm talking about. But that's something that I know that I love and I know I'm going to use a ton. And like I said, I just missed it in my collection. So the first product is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter. This was hyped for a reason. This was e.l.f.'s version of Charlotte Tilbury's No Flawless Hollywood Filter, I think it's what it's called. And this is a glow booster for radiant skin. This is so stunning on the skin. Whenever I want something that's like super lightweight, super natural, something that I can just throw on, not even think about it, this is stunning on the skin. I absolutely love this product. It just has such a lightweight consistency and it blends into the skin so easily. Like, it's almost like a very light tinted moisturizer, and I use it as a base all the time. Like, I don't use it as like mixing it in with a foundation. I just use it as a like tinted moisturizer basically. And I'm telling you, they knocked it out of the park with this. This was super popular for a reason. It like sold out in like 20 minutes for them when they released this. And for good reason. This is actually a stunning product, and I would recommend this to anyone who wants to wear something like a little bit glowy, but honestly, it's not like shiny at all. It just makes your skin like have this beautiful, healthy finish to it. It just makes your skin look so healthy and so just radiant and just fresh. And I'm absolutely in love with this product. I use this all the time when I just want to throw something on, either this or the tinted moisturizer from ColourPop, but the ColourPop one has even more coverage than this one. But either one of those I will just grab for every day because I absolutely love this. It's just fantastic. Okay, and then my other favorite tinted moisturizer product, and actually the only tinted moisturizer in this video, I believe I picked this up during like the summer of last year, and I used this a ton. I absolutely love this product. Kathleen Lights and Morgan Turner would rave about this product and said that this was one of the best tinted moisturizers they've ever used. And I'm talking about the Cali Ray Free Dreaming Skin Wellness Diffusing Tint in the shade The One. Oh my god, you guys, I'm actually wearing this today. This has probably the most coverage out of all the tinted moisturizers that I own. This and probably the Urban Decay tinted moisturizer is the one that has the most coverage. But this one probably has just as much coverage as the Urban Decay one. But somehow it's lightweight. And it's also a water-based tinted moisturizer. I'm like, how the heck does a water-based tinted moisturizer have this good amount of coverage? And it's hydrating, but it covers. And it's just so beautiful on the skin. It makes my skin look so good. And I was using this all the time in the summer because it lasted a really good amount of time on the days that I go to my friend's pool and it's like super hot outside. Fantastic product. The only thing is that you really do need to shake this well before you put it on, because if you don't shake it well enough, it can come out very like oily and not come out in the consistency that you want it to. So yeah, it's a beautiful product. I absolutely love it. And then my absolute favorite foundation that I tried last year, and probably like, honestly, this is probably my holy grail foundation now. This foundation is so beautiful on my skin. So this is the Makeup Forever HD Skin Undetectable Stay True Foundation. This foundation is absolutely stunning. And this is the shade 1RO2. It is so true when they say it's undetectable coverage, because it has the most beautiful, natural, light coverage to your skin. But I would recommend this to anyone that doesn't like wearing too full coverage, even medium coverage. This is such a stunning, beautiful foundation on the skin. Every time I use it, I'm like, my jaw drops on how amazing it looks on my skin. And I wasn't going to try this, and I was like, you know what? They actually had put this, I believe, on sale for half price when I bought it. And I don't know if that meant that they were going to be reformulating again. I'm not even sure if this foundation is still around, to be honest. But when I bought it, I believe I got it for half price already, because for some reason, why do I keep on dropping my freaking makeup wipes? Okay, they're going over here for now. I don't even need them right now. For some reason, I thought that this foundation was released in like 2022. I mean, no, in like the early months of 2023. I thought it was released in like January or February of last year. No, it was released in 2022. So by the time I decided to pick this up, I believe it was during, I don't know if I picked this up during the VIB sale this year, because I think for the winter sale I didn't pick up a foundation. But anyway, it was half price. And I was like, are they discontinuing this already? I was like, I thought it came out like super recently, like just last year. And then it was like, no, it came out like fall of 2022. And I was like, oh, I didn't even realize that. So, or like maybe even earlier in 2022. But I don't know. For some reason, I just decided to try it last year. And it's stunning on the skin. I absolutely love it. I think that this is Makeup Forever's best foundation they've ever done. I would just recommend this to anyone, all ages, all skin types, all people that want to wear something super natural and not feel it on their skin. This is absolutely amazing. I cannot rave about this enough. I love this foundation so much. So much. Okay, and then the last foundation we have to talk about, because remember how I said I didn't want to pick up too many foundations last year, so I only picked up 3. But I usually only pick up like 2 to 3 anyway, but I really was curious about trying this foundation, and I wanted to try some of Glossier's products when they came out in Sephora. So the foundation I'm talking about is their newest foundation, which is the Glossier, what is this called? Stretch Fluid Foundation in the shade Very Light. This has some coverage, y'all, okay? This has some coverage. Like, you really don't need too much of it. And it's like pretty much medium to almost full. Even though this says light to medium coverage, I don't think this is a light coverage foundation. I think they should have said medium to full. Because honestly, I only need like 1 pump of this and it covers my entire face. It has like kind of like a thicker consistency, but it, like when it pumps out of the pump, but when you like spread it out and blend it out on your skin, it becomes more hydrating and more like spreadable and blendable on your face, with still keeping the amount of coverage that gives your skin. Like, it doesn't really sheer out at all, but it just looks beautiful. And I used this so much as like a foundation that I would use that to last like a long time. Like if I was gonna go like to the city, or if I was gonna go to something that I needed my foundation to last, I would wear this foundation. I was interchanging between my Lancome, my Tried and True Taint Idol one, and this one, because this one has pretty much the same longevity as the Lancome one does. This one is fantastic, and this is probably the most full coverage foundation that I own, besides the Dior, Dior Forever Skin Glow foundation. This is fantastic, and you really don't feel it on the skin that much. It's really a great foundation, so I really loved that one too. I was very surprised on how much I actually really loved it. Okay, you guys, so now we're gonna so that's it for foundations and tinted moisturizers. So I told you I didn't have that many. Now we are going to get into concealers, and honestly, this was the year of concealers, y'all. Like, there were so many good concealers that came out this year. I don't know if the Urban Decay one came out in 2023 though, but I'm still gonna mention it Why do I feel like it came out like maybe early last year? Just give me a minute. Okay, so the Urban Decay one did come out last year. So I have 6 concealers, you guys. 6 concealers. When have I ever talked about 6 concealers that I fell in love with this year? Like, I am super picky with concealers now. I'm like, I need to get concealers that don't crease too much under my eyes because I have pretty creasy under eyes. Like, I have a lot of like creases under my eyes. But honestly, these 6 concealers are fantastic. Like, these are my most used, most reached for concealers in 2023 because I could not get enough of these. They're so, so good. So let's just talk about the one I just mentioned because I already mentioned it to see if I got it in 2023. And the first one I'm talking about is the Urban Decay Stay Naked Quickie Concealer. This is so good, you guys. It's so good. Like, Urban Decay, I've said this so many times, they make fantastic complexion products. I wish they would concentrate more so on foundations and concealers and like other things expanding in their line rather than their freaking naked palettes, because I will pick up every single product that they come out with because they're freaking fantastic. They're always so good. This is such an amazing full coverage concealer. This is probably the most full coverage concealer that I have to talk about, but it's kind of similar to the consistency of my Tarte Hydroflex concealer, which is my tried and true all-time favorite concealer. This is a really good one if you're looking for a full coverage concealer. I highly recommend this one from Urban Decay. And then the next one I want to talk about is the one that I'm wearing today. I have worn this concealer probably the most out of all the concealers I'm talking about because this is one of my favorite everyday concealers, if not my favorite one, besides the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. And I'm talking about the Tower 28 concealer. You guys, Tower 28 knocks it out of the park with literally everything that I try from them. I love all of their products. Like, not one thing that I've tried from Tower 28 has been bad. All their products are fantastic. And I knew excuse me, oh my god. As soon as this concealer was coming out, I was 100,000% getting it. And after I saw Morgan Turner's review on this one, she said this was her favorite concealer that she tried until she tried the Natasha Denona one. I think that was the one that she really loved over this one. But they're kind of like 2 different consistencies. But also this one, I forget what shade I'm in this. The Quickie Concealer, I'm in shade 10NN. This one, it says BH. That's not, I don't know if that's the actual shade name, but whatever this shade is, it's pretty much the lightest shade that they have available. I'm always the lightest shade in everything, but this is like probably the most unique consistency besides one of the other ones I'm going to talk about that I've ever tried for a concealer. It's so hydrating, but it gives you such beautiful coverage. Like, you can build this up to probably be like pretty much full coverage because it has a really pigmented consistency, but it blends out to look so beautiful underneath your eyes. I'm wearing it today and it just brightens underneath and it just looks so natural and really gives your eyes like an uplifted, awakening effect. And I absolutely love this concealer. It's fantastic. I've used it so much this past year. I can't get enough of it. It's such a fantastic concealer. And then the next one, this one blew my socks off. This one is fantastic. I already knew it was going to be amazing. But of course, you guys knew that I had to pick up the House Labs concealer this year because I absolutely love the foundation. The foundation is absolutely fantastic. That foundation is viral for a reason. It is so stunning on the skin. Such a beautiful foundation. But the concealer, y'all, the concealer is fan-fucking-tastic. And this one is in the shade 01 Fair Neutral. It has such a hydrating, gel-like consistency. I don't own any other concealer that is remotely similar to this one. But again, it has such a beautiful coverage to it. It's a little bit more matte than the Tower 28 one is, and not as hydrating, but this one is still hydrating. Does not feel heavy underneath the eyes whatsoever, and it's just so beautiful, and it barely creases on me. This is one of the best concealers I've ever tried, and I use this all the time. I can even use it with like lighter makeup days, or if I want to do like more coverage, I will reach for this concealer for pretty much any look. And it'll go with every single foundation, every single tinted moisturizer. It's probably the most universal one because I know I can get the desired amount of coverage that I want depending on what foundation or tinted moisturizer or whatever coverage that I'm wearing for that day. This concealer will basically customize the coverage for you. It's that good, and I absolutely fell in love with this concealer. It's amazing. I love it so much. Then the next one, oh my god, this concealer. There's just so many good concealers this year. Like, what? They were all so amazing. So this one I loved just as much as the foundation, and usually also I fell in love with the coinciding concealers that came out with the foundations that they go with, which is usually not the case. I usually don't like, I'll either like one or the other. I'll love the foundation, hate the concealer, or love the concealer, hate the foundation. But more so, I don't love concealers as much as the foundations, because concealers, again, I'm more picky about. But this Makeup Forever HD Skin Smooth and Blur Undetectable Concealer is so good. I love this concealer too. This one is probably the most natural coverage out of all of these. I would probably compare it to being the most similar to the Tower 28 one as far as the consistency goes and the formula. But this one is so natural, and I absolutely love pairing this one with the Makeup Forever foundation. They both look absolutely beautiful together. And this one is great for every day, but you can also, like, you can't really build it up as much as the other concealers I was talking about. But this one is great just for really natural makeup days, or for days where I don't want to wear too much coverage underneath my eyes, but I want something. This is absolutely stunning. And this one is probably the most buildable concealer because you can layer it over and over again, and it really will never look cakey or heavy underneath the eyes. It's stunning. It's so natural looking. I love this concealer too. Oh my god, it's so good. Okay, then the next one. This was the first product that I tried from this brand, and I love this concealer as well. So this is the LYS Triple Fix Full Coverage Brightening Concealer. I think this was one of the newest concealers that I tried last year besides the Quickie one. I think this was the second new one that I tried. And this one has probably the most matte finish out of all of these concealers. It's a little bit lighter than the Quickie concealer, but this one's a really good one as well. I wore this one so much. It's such a good concealer, you guys. Like, I don't know what else to say about all of these. I was just so shocked on how much I actually loved all these concealers. And this one is no exception. It's really, really good as well. It has like probably medium to almost full coverage. I wouldn't say too full coverage because it doesn't look like super full coverage underneath your eyes. It's just a really good one. I absolutely love this one too. It's just, I love it. I don't really have any other things to say about it. And then the last one was probably the one that I was most shocked to actually like this one, because I saw like mixed reviews on it, but I think it's a really good one. So the last one is the Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Awakening Concealer in the shade 120. I really love Makeup by Mario's products. I'm a Makeup by Mario fangirl. I think he makes fantastic products. I use his cheek products all the time. They're some of my favorite in my entire collection. But the Makeup by Mario concealer was really good, and I know everybody was highly anticipating him to release a concealer after his Surreal Skin foundation was such a hit, which I also love the foundation too, and I love the concealer. The concealer I would say has probably a smidge more coverage than the foundation. The foundation is definitely more dewy. The concealer is not like a dewy finish. I would say this is a lot more of like a natural demi matte finish. And it's a good one. I really like this one too. It has a really good amount of coverage underneath the eyes. It's lightweight, it's blendable. I love it. It's a great concealer. So, this was definitely the year of concealers, y'all. Like, everybody was talking about how many brands were releasing concealers. I didn't pick up the Gucci one or the Natasha Denona one. I just didn't want to spend too much money on a concealer and then end up not really loving it. But I heard that the Gucci one is great, but honestly, I pretty much cap it off with the cost of concealers at like $35. I won't even spend $40 on concealer. I just think that's too expensive. For foundation, I'll spend 40 to like almost 60 is usually what I'll spend on foundation or tinted moisturizer. But as far as concealers, no. All right, now we're going to jump right into bronzers. So we're done with complexion products. I do need to talk about eyeliner and mascara though. Hold on. Okay, I lied. Let's talk about eyeliners and mascaras really quick because we don't really have too many. I didn't really pick up too many eyeliners or mascaras last year because I kind of just wanted to slow down a little bit. But honestly, the eyeliners that I really loved this year, I like the ColourPop ones. Peach Fuzz is one of my favorite colors from the gel liners. But honestly, like, I don't really like the ColourPop gel liners that much because they hurt my waterline, like, so much. I feel like they're so sharp and pointy, and they don't really last that well. But the only eyeliners I'm going to talk about are the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencils. I have used these so much since I picked them up at the Sephora VIB sale. Excuse me. I had Chipotle for lunch, so I'm burping a little bit. But I picked these up to replace my Makeup by Mario liners. I think I still prefer the Makeup by Mario liners because I think that those just have better longevity on the waterline. But these are really, really good. They're very, very smooth on the waterline. They are pigmented. I just think that they don't last as well as the Makeup Forever one. I mean, as the Makeup by Mario ones, but they're still really, really nice. Very pigmented. The black is very, very black. So it looks like that. And the brown I've used so much. So I have the shades Limitless Brown and Whatever Black. And I use these basically all the time. I just interchange between the two. But brown is usually my everyday eyeliner color. And I just really like these two. So I just wanted to mention those really quick. And a lot of people went crazy for their liners last year. I feel like Makeup Forever had a good year last year. And then for my mascaras, I only have 4 to talk about. I'm pretty sure that I got 2 of these this year, but I'm just going to mention these really quick. So the first one is the Ami Collet, what is it called? The Lash Amplifying Mascara. I also fell in love with the lip oil, and I actually used that all the way up, but I just wanted to mention that before I get to lip products, just because I know I'm going to forget if I don't, but that was a fantastic lip oil. That's why I used it up. It was so good. This mascara is so beautiful and probably one of my top favorite mascaras this year. I mean, I'm only mentioning 4, but because I really couldn't find any other ones in here that I wanted to talk about. Yeah, I think I'm good. This one's just fantastic. It really adds like beautiful length to your lashes, some great volume, and it makes your lashes really, really long. It separates them really well. This is a fantastic mascara. I used it so much this past year. And then the next one, I still love this mascara. I don't know if I bought it for the first time last year, but I just own a sample of it now. This was my favorite mascara last year. Like, I'm pretty sure I got it last year because I remember recommending it to my friend like last for the spring VIB sale. I was like, you have to try the Gwen Stefani one. This one's amazing. It's just such a good one, and I reach for this all the time. It's just such a beautiful, lengthening, volumizing, beautiful mascara. It's just so good, and it really does not transfer whatsoever. I absolutely love it. And then the other one that's probably my favorite mascara right now, and this is one of the mascaras that I got in the little sample set that I got from the Sephora VIB sale, where you get the mascara set and then you can redeem it for free full size, and I think that this is the one I'm gonna get. So this is the Tartelette tubing mascara. I also loved the Lancome Idol one and the FanFest one from Benefit, but I think that this one was my favorite. This one is just so good. Tarte makes some fantastic mascaras, and this one is no exception. I know that this is a tubing mascara, so some people don't love tubing mascaras, but it's just so good. I love using this when I want to add really good length and volume to my lashes, and it's just great. And then the last one I wanted to mention, I'm pretty sure I redeemed for the full size this past spring, I believe. I don't know if this, I don't even know when I got this one. It kind of smells a little Crayola. Kind of smells a little bad, actually. I probably should get rid of this one. But I just wanted to mention the Cali Ray Come Hell or High Water mascara. This is the mascara that I redeemed for the full size the first time I picked up one of those sets. I think I picked up one of those sets like early last year in like January or February, maybe even last December. I can't remember. I can't remember. This is a fantastic mascara. This is probably one of my favorite mascaras I've ever tried. It's just so good. I don't know why this is so amazing, but Cali Ray makes some fantastic products. And I feel like in 2024, I might want to try a couple more of their products. But I'm not going to try and go too crazy with makeup this year. I'm going to kind of limit my purchases this year. But this is fantastic. So, yeah, that's all the mascaras that I have to talk about. Okay, let's move on to bronzers. I actually have quite a few to talk about, and I actually picked up 5 bronzers this year. I picked up 3 powder bronzers, and then I actually finally tried cream bronzers for the first time last year, because I always was so hesitant to try cream bronzers. I'm like, I love trying cream blushes, and I tried a ton of cream blushes last year, and we will get into cream blushes right after this. But I'm actually surprised on how much I really loved cream bronzers this past year. So my absolute favorite bronzer last year, I have to give it to the Haus Labs bronzer. So this is the Power Sculpt Velvet Bronzer in the shade Light Level 1. I use the crap out of this bronzer. I use this bronzer all the time. I don't know what is in Lady Gaga's powder products, but they are just so velvety, beautiful, blendable formulas on the skin, but there's this velvet-like, almost suede-like kind of consistency to them when it comes to her bronzers and her blushes. And this was just my absolute favorite bronzer last year. I used it every single day for a straight week or 2 when I first got it, because I was just so blown away by how beautiful it looks on the skin. And it's just so natural. It's not orange, it's not too brown, it's just a perfect shade for me. I absolutely love this bronzer. It was just so good. And then the next one is the Pat McGrath Labs Bronze Without Caution Glamorous Glow and Regal Radiance. May result with prolonged use. So this is the Skin Fetish Divine Bronzer in the shade Naked Desire. When I first got this bronzer, I wasn't really sure if I loved it, and then I kept on reaching for it, and the more and more I used it, I'm like, I love this bronzer. It's actually like, it's kind of a bit more natural looking on the skin as opposed to the House Labs one. I would say the House Labs one has a little bit more pigmentation to it, but they're both very buildable, very beautiful bronzer formulas on the skin, and I love this one too. I actually even love the shade of this one, maybe even more than the House Labs, just because this one is even lighter and a bit more less brown for me. But fantastic formula, super blendable on the skin. I absolutely love this. I don't know what Pat McGrath is doing now as far as the products that she's releasing, but everyone was so excited for her bronzer release because she had never done bronzers before. And when it came out, the bronzers were a hit. Like, everybody wanted these. So I don't know why she won't just expand her line into doing more products that people want from her, like brow products, a new primer, a new foundation, a new concealer. But this is fantastic. I absolutely love it. And then the last powder bronzer I wanted to talk about is the Makeup by Mario bronzer. This is the Soft Sculpt bronzer in the shade Light. I was very late to the game on this bronzer. I didn't really have any interest in trying a bronzer from Makeup by Mario because I saw like the cream one, which is like a stick, and I also saw the one that was like kind of the hybrid like light transformation one. Hold on. So yeah, I was very late to the game on this bronzer, but this bronzer has actually been sold out on Sephora for a while, like especially this shade. So I actually didn't realize how popular this one was, but I found it very easily in my Sephora store when I picked it up. I think I just picked this up during the Sephora VIB sale in November, but I've been using this bronzer so much since I've gotten it. It's such a lightweight, beautiful, again, almost, it's just so soft. It is so smooth and just so buttery. I don't know why I couldn't figure out the word. And this one is probably the lightest powder bronzer that I'm talking about because it's very light on the skin, but it's just so beautiful for like an everyday bronzer where, again, you don't want too much bronze on your skin. You just want something to add a little bit of color. This is so beautiful, especially for fair skin tones like myself, because sometimes we don't want something that is super pigmented or super brown. We just want something that's like super light, and this is fantastic. Like, this really is light on the skin. And again, it's so good for fair complexion. So if you have a really light complexion, I would highly recommend this bronzer. I think it's fantastic. So again, Makeup by Mario, love his products. And then when it comes to cream bronzers, there's two I really, really, really want to talk about. I mean, I only own two, but I was impressed with both of these. So the first one is the ColourPop Bronze Sticks in the shade Laguna Beach. This is really, really nice, you guys. And if I wanted to try my first cream bronzer, I wanted it to be from ColourPop because 99% of the time I really do end up loving their products, and you get a decent amount in here. Oh my god, for a second I thought I couldn't twist it back down. It has a little bit of like a, I don't know, it still smells okay. Like, I'm not in love with the scent. It's a bit Crayola-ish, but this is just so nice on the skin. I use this a ton. I was using this again for like a straight week when I first got it. It's just such a nice, again, very buttery, smooth consistency on the skin. And it's pigmented, but it blends out really nicely. Do you see how well that blends out? And I just really, really liked it. I used this a lot in the summertime when I got it. And I just really, really liked it. So yeah, I think it's a great bronzer. I'm still using it, still loving it. And yeah, it's great. Did I pick up the House Labs powder in 2023? Maybe I should talk about that too. I can't remember half the stuff that I pick up in 1 year. Goldfish fish brain, I swear. Debbie, see what I'm talking about? It's wearing off. And then for the last bronzer and the last cream bronzer I want to talk about is the Tower 28. Again, Tower 28 knocks it out of the park for me. If they do powder blushes this year, I might have to pick up like 3 shades at least because I love their products. So this is the Tower 28 Bronzino Sun Coast Bronzer. This is so beautiful on the skin. Their cream products are just so ridiculously beautifully blendable on the skin. And this adds like a slight illumination to my skin, but in the most natural, beautiful, sun-kissed kind of way. And it's just so fantastic. Sometimes I have to put this on with my finger though to get it on my skin, and then I just blend it out with a brush because I find it doesn't pick up the greatest on a brush. But this one is, as you can see, it's the most glowy bronzer that I'm talking about, but it's just so beautiful. I really like this for like really, really light makeup days or like in the summer especially. It's such a beautiful, like, glowy bronzer. So yeah, those are all the bronzers, and now we're gonna get into blushes and highlighters, which you know is my favorite subject, so let's go into it. Okay, you know what? We're gonna end this part here because I actually am already making this video too long. I didn't think it was gonna be over 50 minutes, but I guess I've been talking for too long already. And I'm really tired, so I really don't feel like filming anymore. I just want to sit and read something before my mom finishes dinner or whenever she decides to start making dinner. And if I still talk about the rest of these products, it's going to be too long. So part 2 is going to be cream blushes, powder blushes, or just cream blushes, highlighters, and lipsticks. I probably will just break it up like that because with the all the complexion products and the bronzers and the powder blushes, it's just too long. So yeah, I'm gonna end this video here. So please like and subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram at CW819 and check out my Poshmark at the same handle. But whatever the last clip was in this video, maybe it'll be bronzers, maybe it'll be powder blushes. I might just put powder blushes in the second half and just keep foundations, concealers, eyeliners, mascaras, and bronzers in the first one. I think that's a good thing to start with, and then blushes in the same video with highlighters and lipstick. So I think that's how I'm going to break it up. So yeah, I'm going to stop talking because I'm too tired, and also like I can't film the rest right now. Well, I'm just going to film it another day. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you tried any of these products and if you liked any of these and what were your thoughts. Did you love them? Did you hate them? Did you like feel so about them? Are these products that you would like to try at some point? Let me know. Okay, I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.